Here with Coach Freddie Myles to preview the 2025-26 Concordia powerlifting and weightlifting seasons. As we record this, we have a home powerlifting meet coming up quickly. So you've had a chance kind of to get acclimated with this team early in the fall semester. This is year 4 for both programs as far as competition. How satisfied have you been with kind of the progression that you've seen the past few years?
I think it's been good. I've been satisfied. It seems like each year we've kind of built off the last. 2 years ago we had 0 national champions the first year, but 1 medalist. And then we had a national champion in weightlifting this second year. And then last year we had another weightlifting, a different person win the championships for weightlifting, and then a powerlifting national champion. So that's been building nicely. And then also our number of medalists has been building each year in both programs. So I've been pleased with that. The work level of the kids has been very good this year as well. And I think that they could do bigger and better things this year.
Wanted to look back at the national championships that took place during the spring semester last year. With powerlifting, you're able to bring home a team banner for women. What did that mean for the program to be able to make that kind of splash nationally?
I think it was a big deal. It was definitely recognized by other coaches. I know that at nationals there were several that came up to me and recognizing that that they did well and congratulating me on the kids' success. So I think it's a big deal as well, and I think they're capable of placing higher this year. With kids, we were really close for the difference between 5th and 3rd place was 1 point. So 4th place and 3rd place were 1 point ahead of us, and 2nd place was 3 points. So and to give you an idea of a 1st place finish is 12 points. So it's really very close. 1st place was farther, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th were within reach, I believe, of the program. So I think that motivated them to try and get a little higher, being that close to even a higher placement.
I think 17 national qualifiers for powerlifting last year, along with some really high team placements. How would you like to kind of see them build on that?
Well, I'd like to have obviously a higher team place, but I'd like to have more people medal like last year or be in the podium. Then for powerlifting, it's top 5. And we had 4 athletes last year that made the podium. So I think versus, I believe it was only 1 the year before that. So that was a big improvement. And I think that this year, the year before was 2, sorry. I think this year we can have more people podium, so I think that'd be really good. And then I kind of focus on the individuals first, it being an individual sport that's scored team-wise. So I'm focused on each kid doing as best as they can possibly do. And I think that them doing that, I think we can have more kids place high on the podium, and then the end result will be the team score will be higher. So.
With weightlifting, you took 13 athletes to nationals, which I know was a big increase from the previous year. You had Cade Mima win a national championship. What might be the next step for that group?
So I think they can also, team-wise, they actually scored a 4th place finish the men did last year. It's just not a podium finished thing in weightlifting it's top 3 make the podium, and powerlifting it's top 5. So the men being really 1 spot outside of a podium is on a team placement criteria. I think that they can close the gap that way. We had some strong performances there. I believe we had 4 people inside the top 5. So I think there's possibility to have more kids inside the top 5 this year. Like last year we had, Caden won and Evan was runner-up. But I think there's some other people in the program that will be higher this year. And I would like to see both teams, that women finish 6th. I think both of them can finish higher and hopefully in one of those banner positions for the weightlifting program.
As we record this, you've had about 4 or 5 weeks of the fall semester to get back into things. What is that process kind of like, and what are you seeing in practice right now that maybe is encouraging with your athletes?
I think everyone's been very focused. Like with both lifting sports programs, it's you have to routinely work like throughout the year. Like over the summer, they're practicing their sport. Over every break, like it's a continual process, and there can't be long breaks from it because it's so important to keep progressing, to keep training. So I think most of the kids in the program, I'd say the large majority, worked really hard over the summer, and then I really like to see that. And then they've also, the first month of training, the intensity in the gym has been good. The effort that they're putting forth has been good. So I'm pleased with that, and I think it's pointing, some of the numbers that the kids are reaching right now is pointing in the direction of a really good result come nationals time if we can keep that focus up and keep healthy.
I wanted to mention Taylor Hedke as somebody who I think competes at a pretty high level for weightlifting and powerlifting.
Correct.
What do you expect from her, and how difficult is that to train to excel at both of those?
It's so it's very hard to do both of them. It's a lot, because instead of focusing on, if you're focusing on just powerlifting, you have 3 competition lifts that you're trying to perfect. And weightlifting is 2, so when you're doing the combined, you have 5, like big 5 lifts that you have to focus on. And there are some similarities in the qualities that you need to be successful in, but there's also some pretty strong differences. So it's hard. You have to be, you're doing a lot of extra work, and your focus is spread through a greater number of disciplines. So I think it's hard. It's like excelling in decathlon, versus just being in a sprinter or a jumper. It's hard to be good at all those different things. There's lots of different skills. Like the bench press skill is something that a weightlifter would have doesn't have to do anything to do with that, and or vice versa. The snatch and the clean jerk, a powerlifter doesn't have to worry about improving those techniques. So it's hard to have 5 things that you have to be really good at technique wise and really strong at. And the workouts are hard. She does 5, and everyone that does double sport, there's several that do both sports. It's a very hard program, like with 5 days of really hard training throughout the week. And I do think she will do, to speak to how she'll do, I think she's going to do really well in both sports this year. With I can see her placing very high in both of them. So, like, she finished 3rd in powerlifting, and I definitely think she's going to finish higher than that this year. And weightlifting, she was 5th, and I also think that she will finish on the podium in weightlifting as well.
I know you mentioned Evan Fukuhara and Caden Maima already. Both of them have won national titles. What do you maybe appreciate about the way they go about their business to be able to accomplish what they have? Yeah,
they're both very professional in the gym, like focusing, when they're in there, they're really focusing on their lifting, working really hard with that, but then also outside of the gym, they're doing what they need to get better, like eating a certain way, making sure that they're recovering well by sleeping, they're focusing on visualization. So lots of different things that make you great. It's not just the 10 hours you spend in the gym a week lifting. It's also those other hours outside the gym and what you're doing with those to be successful.
I'm sure there are a lot of names we could mention. I think Tia Badger and Wyatt Hosick both won medals as well last year. Are there athletes you see? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say they've both had really good summers where they've gotten even stronger than they were last year. So I think both of those two especially are going to do really big things. We had someone that's might be off of the radar last year because he was hurt is Will Peterson. As a freshman, was a medalist as a freshman, and then he had an injury which required surgery, so he was out last year. He's in really good shape right now, had a really good summer, really good recovery period after his surgery. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people with how strong he is when he competes next.
Wanted to talk a little bit about the sport and like nationals and how do they decide on the venues? And I know I believe it's supposed to be in Louisiana for powerlifting this year for nationals, and Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah for weightlifting.
Yeah.
How did they go about picking that, and what do you maybe like about those sites for this year?
Well, the thing I don't like about those sites this year is they're both on the same day this year. So that's hard for our program since we have the same coaches for both sports. I believe we're the only program in the country where it's like that. Usually there's a different coach for their respective sports. So I'm not a fan of that scheduling thing. But I think both venues are good. I haven't been to the New Orleans Convention Center before, but I have been to the Salt Lake Convention Center, and it's a good venue. I think it's a good location for the sport, and I think New Orleans is a great city as well. I just haven't competed there, and I know the kids are excited because it's different than it's been before. The weightlifting has been in Columbus for, I'm not sure how long, as long as I can remember, at least 7 or 8 years, and then the powerlifting one was in Oklahoma City last year, so this one's farther away. So I think they're excited to go to the south for a meet. So, and they're both really well run events, so I'm sure they'll be good. And they're chosen. It's a bidding process from the cities. So they bid on trying to host it, similar to like a World Championships or an Olympics.
Okay. I know you're in the weight room every single day with not just your own teams, but with all types of Concordia teams. What do you, I guess, enjoy most about that whole atmosphere and helping people get better?
I think it's the helping people get better. I like interacting with people, and I like being able to help them improve their performance, whether it be in a lifting type sport, which clearly I like, but I also like helping people get faster, stronger, and that's what brought me to doing this. Is I was a track and soccer athlete in college, and I was desperately trying to get faster and looking at ways to get faster, and that's how I discovered the weight room. So I enjoy helping others that strive to improve their performance, whether it be with a barbell or to make them better on the field. It's just really fun to help people.
Okay, I'm going to do a few quick hitters if you're okay. I put through some of these at your athletes as well. So, but what's a recent TV show or movie that you've watched?
So I don't usually watch TV or movies, so I'm probably kind of socially not cool. I read some books recently.
Okay, what's the most recent book you've read?
Not the one I'm on now, but the one I just finished is Flowers for Adonis. It's a historical fiction about the Peloponnesian War. The kind of centers around the life of Alcibiades, so like a couple thousand years ago, but it was interesting. So,
okay. Do you have like a routine on the day of competitions that you have to go through?
Like if I'm competing or if my athletes are competing?
Just as a coach, I guess.
As a coach, yeah, I'm probably triple check like that I have everything right, like that the warm-ups are right, that I'm not forgetting something. And I usually just go through my normal daily routine as well, so I get up pretty early and I have set things I like to do before I do anything, and I kind of keep that the same before a competition day. But there's definitely, I'm anxious to make sure I do everything correctly so the kids can have their best performance. So there'll be a lot of triple checking of things. So.
What's something fun you were able to do over the summer?
I really enjoy riding my jet ski with my kids. We have like a wake surfboard, and which you get pulled up behind the jet ski, and then you can surf and let go and ride the wake. And we spent a lot of time on that, and I wish it was warmer so I could do it on the weekend still. So.
If you could pick a singer or a band to play at Bulldog Stadium, who would you choose?
That's a hard one too. I'm not really very into music either. So
you don't have like pump up music? Or
no, I usually lift in silence. So that's a hard one for me as well. I don't like anything aggressive. I know that. So I usually music doesn't bother me if it's upbeat. I'm not a big fan of aggressive music though. So otherwise, it's hard for me to tune out. But usually it's silence. So
You would think that's what lifters would want, like this really
actually a lot of people do.
pump up music, right?
Yeah, they do get motivated by that, but it never has. Like even when I was younger, the music didn't really motivate me. Like that was different motivations. So.
Do you have a favorite professional sports team or athlete?
No, maybe because I watch so many people are so involved in athletics, I don't really do much with outside professional stuff. So I do not.
Wasn't there a team you rooted for growing up?
My dad was a huge
like
49ers fan, so I
Okay.
know that my dad would watch a lot of football, and he was a big 49ers fan. So, and I know that the Oakland A's, when you did well in school, they'd give you free tickets. So I got to see the A's play when Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco were playing. Like when I know it kind of dates myself, but like when they were like the Bash Brothers and like doing really good. So I do remember enjoying that. It was nice to be able to go see a game like that. But
do you have a hidden talent?
I don't know if I have any hidden talents. I mean, I can juggle a soccer ball, but that wouldn't be hidden because people probably know I used to play soccer. So yeah.
Oh, all right. Last one. Hobby outside of like lifting.
Outside of lifting, really like anything out. Like I like hiking or things outside. Used to do quite a bit of rock climbing too, which is fun. So basically anything. I like being outside, and I like nature type activities. So anything out in the woods, or biking or hiking, things like that.
All right. You want to finish with the SCO Dogs?
Go Dogs.